So one of the topics that I needed to address, which was quite distressing, I must say, was the way how Keir Starmer seems to not be very interested. Well, in fact, he's actually blocking, and he literally already blocked the inquiry in all the grooming gangs investigations. Betrayal. In a stunning betrayal of British families, PM Keir Starmer is ordering Labour MPs to block a national inquiry into the rape gangs plaguing the United Kingdom. And this has been infuriating to see. And what's more, because he's doing a couple of things. Well, first, people are calling this, they're calling a spade a spade. Okay, these are rape gangs. And he is blocking the inquiries into this. And you're about to see the words that he used, how he justifies that this is not needed. Oh, this is not required. Of course, there are also the side of the memes like Elon Musk shared. I don't want a rape gang inquiry, but it would clear your name, but it would clear your name, right? Well, it seems that it will not. And he says, he claims that victims want action, not an inquiry. And it's very easy for him to say, because victims deserve both of them. And these are his words.
Mr. Speaker, he raises the question of inquiries. There have been a number of inquiries, both national and local, including one covering Oldham. And reasonable people can agree or disagree on whether a further inquiry is necessary. This morning I met some of the victims and survivors of this scandal, and they were clear with me that they want action now, not the delay of a further inquiry.
Yeah, they don't want the delay of a further inquiry. That maybe those are his words. Maybe he's putting this like his words. He's making sure to frame this like the victims don't want a full investigation into who are responsible for this, because which other action would the victims want? If I was a father of one of the victims, I would want to know who failed me, who failed my girl, who failed my family, who failed society. We want to know the names. And these people, the Labour Party, didn't want to any of this to come to light. Keir Starmer was hell-bent on covering this up. And, well, you're going to be the result in a minute. Let's keep watching this video.
The last national inquiry was 7 years, which would take us with a further inquiry to 2031.
He's just making an argument that, oh, yeah, the last one that we did was 7 years, so this is going to bring us into 2031. I'm sure that you can be faster than that. I'm sure that you can, well, you can be progressive, right? You can start with... or you can prioritize things, because this is urgent. This is a tragedy of unknown proportions, and we know that this is big. This is the largest scandal in the history of the UK and possibly in the history of the Western world. So this is something that I said. One of the things that this investigation is going to, let's say, expose. This is going to expose people on every level. This is going to expose people who knew that they had to act, and they actively chose not to act. This is what is going to reveal. So they don't want any of that. They don't want anybody to be named. They want to cover up for all the people who knew what these girls were going through, and they decided to silence everything and give all these demons, all these monsters, all these animals a pass, which is, it shouldn't be.
Action is what's required. But whatever your view, whatever anyone's view on whether a further inquiry is needed, what I find shocking is that anyone in this House would vote down the children.
Imagine that. One of the now grown-up victims had a phone call today from the police telling her to delete her comments on X. This is the current state of the UK. They are not interested. They don't want anybody to find out. But this is going to be found out. The names are going to be exposed. And I'm telling you, this is going to rock, if not destroy, many institutions in the UK. And they will have it well deserved. They will have it well deserved. There's gonna be sweet Schadenfreude in so many times, so many ways.
Well-being bill this afternoon, which is vital protections for the most vulnerable in our society. And I urge the Leader of the Opposition to withdraw her wrecking amendment.
So, but it so happens that just like a couple hours ago, UK Labour Party politicians have actually effectively rejected a bill for a public inquiry into child trafficking and rape gangs committed by predominantly Pakistani gangs. 364 MPs voted against, while 111 voted for an inquiry. So more than 3 times of MPs voted against find it out. You can imagine how smear, how dirty are the hands of all these people that they don't want this to be known. This is sick. This is sick. And the UK will not be able to survive this if they don't do anything. The UK will not be able to survive this. And I could say many things about this topic, but
the ayes to the right, 111. The noes to the left, 364.
This is just a disgrace. This is not only a national disgrace, it's something that puts the UK like, all right, so you are okay with this. You have decided to side with the monsters. You have decided to side with the animals, with the demons that did this. And you're willing to do nothing, and you're willing to cover this up in any way, shape, or form. I'm going to tell you, there are people in the UK that whose voice is, let's say, that is the strongest voices in the UK. I think, and those voices have sometimes been heard for example, the Middle East conflict, and have been heard for domestic violence in the UK. So if these very strong voices, if these highly influential Britons have raised their voice for injustices in the Middle East or outside of the UK, and for domestic violence, which is inside of the UK, I think that they should raise their voices regarding the British girls who have been the victims of all these atrocities. I mean, if you say that there should be a ceasefire in Gaza, and you say that there should be something done about domestic violence for women in the UK, then you could talk about this. I'm just asking the question. I'm just asking that question. It's something that should be talked about, should be addressed. And I'm telling you, that's why I'm telling you, this is going to shake the UK from top to bottom. Everybody responsible, even only the criminals themselves, but those who did not act, those who sinned by omission, we could say, this is not going to be good. I would love to know, what do you think about this in the comments anyway. In the chat you already have some idea of what I'm thinking. You have some idea of what I'm thinking.